And hello there folks, it's me RJB from RJB TV, and welcome back to 4 of 8 against Burgersasu, best of series part number 4. Actually, the title there is wrong, it's part number 4. Let me just fix that real quick. Part number 4, where we will be diving into game number 4. Game number 4. Here we got 4 of 8 there on the red Protoss, and Burgersasu on the green Terran right below him. The score is 1 win for Burgersasu and 2 wins for 458. Burgersasu won game number 1, but then lost game number 2 and 3. Game number 3 was very, very close. Extremely close. If Burgersasu was able to last just a little bit longer in the previous game, I'm pretty sure he would have eventually won the game. But not having a main hive and having the miner from a distance really killed his economy, and 4 of 8 simply outlasted our burgery friend, who could not keep up with 458. 4 of 8 simply outlasted him. So 4 of 8 here does a gateway first. He went for a 7 pylon into a 9 gateway, and that might either indicate he's gonna try to rush, or he's gonna maybe go for a nexus after this, because there's a couple of different paths you can go for, a couple of different paths that I've seen 4 of 8 take. One of them is that he goes for an early rushing build order by going for a double gateway or triple gateway. But in this case, he goes for a gateway first, then a nexus, and then he will rely on the one single zealot, and maybe the second zealot as well, to get his choke up and running. Because I've seen a couple of games where Protoss going for the standard nexus force choke, it doesn't work out. I've seen games where they get rushed by a Terran right next to them. And I've seen some Protoss players, instead of going for Nexus Forge, go for Gateway Nexus Forge, which allows them to get a couple of zealots out onto the map before they start their choke, which should allow them to defend themselves or protect themselves from Marines trying to kill that choke, which does happen sometimes. And here we got the zealot there doing exactly that, protecting the choke, and after that we'll get the cannons. And this is something that a lot of Protoss players do, but I've seen some of them do it. And I really like this change in the build order, because it does provide more safety for the Protoss. Like, the 2 cannons are coming up, and there's nothing to attack those 2 cannons. Absolutely nothing. The SV, though, does get into the base, so you gotta get information on what 4 of 8 is up to, but at this point, you can kind of guess what he's up to. He's gonna get double gas now, and then a cyber core. I do have to add a note to this build order from 458, and that is by going for the gateway, then the nexus, then the forge, and then the cannons, you do delay your double gas by, I'd say, half a minute, maybe an entire minute, because you get the gateway earlier, and then you get 2 zealots or 3 zealots before you start the assimilators. So everything does get delayed. He's going to be slower with his technology, which might give Burgersasu more time to prepare himself to defend himself against whatever technology 4 of 8 is going to try to throw at Burgersasu. We've got a commencer in the back and a factory only on the way. No academy there being built yet on the bottom. Killed the zealot, so the zealot did get a couple of rounds around the base to get information, but he's managed to nip that in the bud. Let's add some background music. I forgot about the music. Let's see if the settings are actually okay. Yeah, okay, settings are okay. Settings are okay. So we've got 4 cannons in the front, 2 still warping in, because he fears that Burgersasu might just attack him. And that's a realistic fear, because Burgersasu does like to attack a choke. He likes it, he loves it. Like, if you go through the channel, you will probably find a lot of games where Burgersasu just tries to brute force his way through that choke. Sometimes it works, sometimes it backfires because he loses all of his Marines, and then has almost nothing to defend himself with. In this case, though, everything is safe and sound. The double robo is being built in the back. That is also because 4 of 8 was fearing the possibility that Burgersasu might attack the choke. And if he had built his robos at the choke, they would be in danger of getting killed or depowered. Also, because he knows that Burgersasu is right next to him, he knows that Burgersasu can put tanks right around the corner and then up on the high ground. If he had built his robos right here, they would be within firing range of a tank on the high ground, or maybe a tank right here. So that's why he's building his technology and his robos in the back. Whereas most often times in other situations you would see the robos right here in the front. So a lot of small little details here that are being added in by 458 that I just want to highlight. He's also getting cannons quite early. These cannons are very, very early. You usually do not see cannons that early because realistically a tank comes out at 6:15 with siege mode. So these cannons coming out at about 5 minutes is very early. Perhaps a little bit too early. But 458 is a very good player, and he probably felt that he needed to get those cannons exactly at that time in the game. Whether I agree or not, it's not important. The game already happened, and he's not going to listen to my advice, because my advice is worse than his own. So he cancels the turrets on the top because the Zealots are in the base trying to get information, disrupt, just create an opening for that double reaver that will soon be on the way. So the Marines pull back from the middle, back home to the base to protect the SCVs and protect whatever else there is from those Zealots. The Zealots have done a great job. Like the fact that they cancelled the 2 turrets on the top is already quite big. And everything else they got in addition, like the scouting information, maybe a couple of Marine kills, is just extra advantage for 458. Who's now on 48 probes against 35 SCVs there from Burgersasu. So we have former Gavizer on the way. He's got a lot of probe protection. Like, one of the few things 458 is really good at is not getting tank dropped. Sometimes he gets tank dropped, but he always makes sure, because he knows that a tank drop is a Terran's strongest weapon in the first 12 minutes. If a Terran can hit probes and kill some of them, the Protoss is going to be in big trouble. So 458 always makes sure that he has cannons all over the place in the back, not too many, but also not too few, to protect those probes from harm. And it always pays off. It's a very smart thing to do. This costs him a little bit more investment. Just slow down the attack, as you can see right here. This is quite a late drop. We're already 7-10 into the game and the drop hasn't happened yet. But he has a pretty strong triple shuttle drop, and he's going to fly all the way around, but flies into a Marine. And that means he's going to maybe change his mind, unloads 1 Zealot to kill the Marine. A wise choice. Burgersasu is relocating his Marines to try and intercept. He's on 5 barracks, getting a number 6 there. Goes over the bottom side, he starts unloading. Reavers are pretty. There's no tanks within sight anywhere to be seen, which should allow 458 to micro his Reaver shuttle really easily without really getting any damage. But the Marines coming from the back to flank. Reaver unloads, gets close to the SCV. Both of them very close to the SCVs. SCVs are running to safety. SCVs all do. Oh no. That was a very close call. Very close call. I think he lost about, I'd say, 12 of them. Still a pretty damn good hit. I didn't see the exact number he lost, but losing about 12 is pretty damn painful. Considering he also lost like 15 Marines, maybe 16 of them. Very good drop. I would say that was worth it. 458 is definitely in the lead with his triple Nexus, building up a huge probe count really quickly. Got triple Forge, got the Tempest Arc there finished up, getting Storm. He has Scarab damage coming in very, very early, still only on triple gas. He's able to finance all of this on only triple gas. Which goes to show that you don't need a lot of gas as Protoss. You don't need a lot of gas as Protoss. So look at about 8 gateways at the moment. 9. A lot of drop from the bottom. We got shuttles flying back home from the earlier drop. And these are getting spotted out by a Marine yet again. Which means Burgersasu stims to the bottom side to try and intercept those shuttles. And 458 goes in to the action. Unloads the Reavers behind the supply depots. Like, there's a small little tight hole that they have to go through, which is hard to do, but doesn't get as many kills as he would have liked to. Burgersasu cleans that one up quite well. He kills an SCV, killed like 5 or 6 Marines. I would say that was a win for Burgersasu. So Burgersasu is clawing his way back into this game. He's still behind on 458. He still is behind, but it's no longer a humongous amount behind. We have Stargates being built there on the side outside of 458's base to make sure that Burgersasu doesn't scan them. Oh, he knows. Oh, he saw this. He saw this. Ooh, that's painful. Because now that means this is going to go down. He unloads. He's going to try to stop this. Marines are stimming onto the Reaver. Reaver gets one. Ooh, huge shot. Huge shot. Kills most of the Marines. And the Marines might have to retreat. Zealots are in the front taking fire from the tank. Reaver shoots, kills a couple of Marines. Tank there going to go down as well. Reaver micro is great on display. Shuttle goes down. Reaver gets a couple more kills. The tank stays alive. And that means he might take this down. Unless he sends, of course, another wave of Zealots. We've got tanks at the high ground and beyond the wall. Beyond the wall. Exactly what I mentioned earlier. Like the frontal choke has been taken down because of the tanks on the high ground and behind the wall. So that is, once again, reinforcing why you should not get your Robos in the front if you're right next to the Terran. So this gets cleaned out. The Stargates stay alive. A small little fight in the middle with Templars, storming Marines. A lot is happening all over the place. Beautiful stuff. A lot is happening all over the place. The tanks retreat back home. There's no wall in the front. He's going to have to block up that hole. Drop comes in at the same time. Oh, this is great. Oh, good storm, but doesn't get any kills. Maybe one or two, but not a lot of kills. So that was his chance to really get himself into a definitive massive lead over Burgersasu, because Burgersasu just lost a lot of units trying to take down that Stargate proxy base, but didn't really kill anything. Just lost a lot of units. So a lot of fighting force and a lot of defensive power is gone for Burgersasu. Once again, great unload, snipes the High Templar. Ooh, that's really quick sniping. That's really quick sniping. The shuttles do stay alive, so they will return back home to pick up more units. But this is looking great for Burgersasu all of a sudden. I'm saying it looks great, but does it really look great? He's on 67 SCVs. He's on 7 barracks, triple factory. He's on 4 gas. His base is not huge, but I'd say he's progressing nicely. So the rally point for 4th has changed to further away from the choke. Stargates are warping in their carriers. They've got cannons to protect as well. He knows the Marines are probably going to be coming over. So he has the shuttles there unloading on the scene. Templars ready to storm on the Marines, but the Marines are running out of harm's way. Zealots get on top of the tanks with their level 1 attack, 1 armor. Pretty strong Zealots. 0-0 there on the tanks. We got 1-0 there on the Marines, but level 2 weapon and 1 armor are both on the way, and level 1-1 for the tanks will soon finish up as well. Shuttle gets sniped, only unloads 2 Zealots. So far, this game is shaping up to be very action-packed, despite only being 12 minutes in. Burgersasu is being very, very aggressive. Very aggressive. He wants to stop the carriers no matter the cost, and whether it's going to work or not, I don't know, because 458 is managing to keep those Marines and tanks away from the Stargates quite effectively. The carriers will finish, and carriers will soon arrive, and they will spell in and usher in the end of Burgersasu. That's what I'm feeling right now, because he has no starboards. Well, 1 starboard has no Goliaths. He only has Marines and tanks. Oh, yeah, he's pointing out the fact that there's no wall. There's no wall. 458 can just walk right on it. 2 drops coming in at the same time from 2 different locations. Burger has to call CG because he knows it's over. He knows that the carriers have arrived, which means that it is GG. He cannot survive the carriers. He knows he cannot survive, because he invested so many Marines, so many resources into trying to stop the carriers, that he, during all that fighting, never ever managed to properly prepare himself for the carriers themselves. He was going all in on preventing the carriers, but could not, and it cost him the game. He gave up. He knew it was over. Also, there's nothing in the back to protect him. The shuttles have 2 High Templars, a couple more Zealots in there. SCVs were going to die. How many, I don't know, but a couple of them for sure. Maybe half, maybe 10, maybe 5. But damage was going to be dealt, which would give the carriers, which have no opposition on the map at the moment, free reign to take the game. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this, I'd say, rather short video, but I want to keep everything split up into their own video. So please do return for game number 5 sometime this week. It should be very soon. It's going to be tasty. It's going to be delicious, because I know how long that game is going to be, and with the length of it, I'm 100% positive it's going to be a tasty treat. See you soon. RJB is signing out.